This is it. Art lovers, weekend wanderers, and food truck fans. Minneapolis' iconic art event is happening this weekend. The 34th annual Powderhorn Art Fair takes over the Powderhorn Park on Saturday and Sunday, August 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with more than 200 juried artists, delicious food trucks, floral vendors, upcycle creators, and a full family zone. There is something for everyone to enjoy. Wander the lakeside paths, meet the local and regional artists, find the perfect piece for your home, or just take in the vibrant energy of this truly unique celebration of creativity and community. Don't miss the chance to support arts and experience one of the most joyful weekends of the summer. All right here in the heart of South Minneapolis. Admission is free, again, Saturday and Sunday, August 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Powderhorn Park. For details, event schedules, food truck lists, artist previews, and more, visit powderhornartfair.com. That's powderhornartfair.com.
Located just north of 50th and France, the Great Wall Restaurant has provided a delicious taste of authentic Chinese cuisine since 1981. Specializing in Szechuan and Peking dishes, they offer one of the most extensive menus in the Twin Cities. Favorites include hot and sour soup, pan-fried dumplings, and mushu pork with homemade Chinese pancakes. Stop by their Edina location or call for takeout at 952-927-4439. See the full menu at greatwallrestaurant.us.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. An air quality alert remains in effect today as we expect hazy skies and a high of 79. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 58, and Saturday sunny with a high near 76. Discover perfection at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. From Philly steak to crispy chicken, every bite is exceptional. Add freshly fried fries or rings for a winning combo. Visit mavericksbeef.com or find them off Lexington and Roseville. Unforgettable sandwiches. Maverick's Real Roast Beef.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from AM 950, the Progressive Voice of Minnesota, WCPT, 820 Chicago Heartland Signal, and 1150 AM KKNW Seattle. This is the Matt McNeil Show. This is Greg Bakun filling in for the next couple hours, hoping to get you into your Friday safely and into the weekend, and hoping that you all had a good week. There's a number of things that we're going to be talking about over the next couple hours. Some that I'm excited to talk about and some I'm not so excited to talk about. Let's get to the stuff that I'm excited about. In the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to have Butch Patrick join us. For those of you who do not know, maybe just the name doesn't sound familiar or vaguely familiar, but it should. Butch Patrick, of course, Eddie Munster from the 1960s series, The Munsters. He's going to stop by. We're going to be talking about his Summer Scream series that's going to be happening in Illinois and Indiana. And I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to try to find a way to get to one of them because this sounds really cool. We're going to have Butch come on, talk about it, maybe reminisce a little bit about the Munsters as well. In the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking with John from the Minneapolis Trolley Tours. It's such a, the Twin Cities has so many wonderful mansions and stuff. We're going to talk about how you can see some of this stuff as well, just have a great conversation. And I do want to get to, there's so many news stories out there, isn't there? There's always something that you read every day and you're just getting really frustrated about having to read. The one that I kind of want to focus on, and if not the 3 o'clock, at least the 4 o'clock hour, is going to be, we're going to be talking about the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. It announced today that it's closing down in September. As somebody who has been a great supporter of public television, especially here in town, my mind just doesn't understand it. We're going to walk through it. I put together some information regarding about why it was important and what's going to happen next, and what that money that we so badly needed to get, where's that going to go? We might talk about it a little bit this hour. We might talk about it more in the 4 o'clock hour. Just a lot going on here today. And I'm really, really very excited, though, because we got some great guests. And for those of you who my name might sound familiar, but you don't exactly know who the heck I am, and nor should you. I do a nightly radio show on AM 950 called Ghost Box Radio. It's about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, so much more. And we talk about have some really great conversations. We also talk about the genre we call true crime, where we're talking about, basically people dying. So if you're not already annoyed and angry listening to the Matt McNeil show with all the stuff he's talking about, getting you riled up, then you can go to 10 o'clock, listen to my show, and you can get scared, then we'll still keep talking about stuff that'll get you riled up. So there's a lot of great stuff on this station. Tonight we're going to do what we call Casual Friday. We're going to be talking about super volcanoes a little bit, plus whatever's on anyone else's mind. Also, I want to ask everybody, if you're watching us on Facebook right now, go ahead, put into the comments, what are you going to be doing this weekend? I'm very curious. We made it this far during the week. Hopefully you have plans to do something and get something fun. And I don't know about you all, but I really have to take the time and really disengage from the media, to disengage from a lot of things, because it just feels like even when you're not trying to hear it, when you're not trying to listen to it, you're going to hear something. It's just going to make you angry. And that's the sort of thing that, it's like, go outside and grill and just take a walk or whatever else. And that's why we're going to have John on in the 4 o'clock hour, because they offer Minneapolis trolley tours. It's beautiful. It's not political. It's just really a celebration of the beauty of Minneapolis, and we'll be talking about that with him as well. Joining me in the other room is the person who I work with the most on Ghostbox Radio, and he has kindly put aside some time to join us this afternoon. We have Adam, who just celebrated a birthday this week. How are you doing today?
Doing well today, and bearer of bad news all day yesterday. As much as I, like you, tried to kind of decompress because I was off yesterday, even went out and grilled, found a new beer from a local brewery here in the Minnetonka area. But as I'm outside grilling, which is supposed to be my happy space, I decide to flip on my phone, and I see that the Twins traded like 7 or 8 players yesterday, and I'm just like, well, there goes that season.
I heard that.
Yep.
I heard that. I heard that self-destruction happened.
Oh, yeah. They pressed the big red button and went boom. Correa's gone, Castro, France, Jax, Duran, the closer. But we kept Byron Buxton and we kept Joe Ryan. So I can be happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have some players to play the game.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think they're going to call up the Hopkins Little League team. I think that's who's going to be starting tonight in Minneapolis.
Well, I wasn't sure if like this St. Paul Saints, there's some players over there going, ooh, I would get my phone off airplane mode here. Let's get the ringer on, see what happens.
The nice thing is the Saints are in Toledo tonight, and the Twins are actually in Cleveland, which is only like a 30-minute drive. So I'm thinking the Saints are going to be playing with like 13 people overall because the rest are going up to the Twins.
Or to some a doubleheader.
Yeah.
That surpasses multiple types of baseball. So, yeah.
We're just going to play cricket in Toledo tonight since the Saints don't have enough people. They all went to the Twins.
Why not? That'll take a good 3 days.
Yeah, there we go.
So why not do that? I don't know. I just... I don't know. It's and I some people might be wondering, why am I focusing on the Corporation for Public Broadcasting as the thing to be angry about today? There should be a segment just called "Why Am I Angry Today?" I mean, don't you ever feel that? It's like, what out of all the stuff to make me angry, what is it that's really making me angry today? Oh, it's the Corporation for Public Broadcasting being defunded. Okay, that's what's going to be today.
And the sad thing, it's all self-imposed because the bad news is going to happen as soon as you click on your news feed on your phone. You're just welcoming the bad news.
Absolutely. I mean, the news kind of talked about Gazelle being transferred, and what I was like, even all that, I just don't even want to talk about any of the Epstein stuff. Mm-hmm. I just don't even want to, but I want to get one point clear that I just don't hear on a lot of media. I heard it on Patty's show, and you and I have talked about this ad nauseum, and that's simply this, that, I know that we focus on certain people, that we want to see them on the list, and I do not doubt we will. Mm-hmm. Let's be very clear, and this is where we as a country and as human beings need to be very clear. It shouldn't matter, your political party, your standing in the community, what companies you own, what, color, race, anything. If you're doing something bad, such as ended up being on that list, and you were doing stuff while being on that list, we should go after you to the full extent of the law. There should not be just one person. It shouldn't be partisan. It should be completely anybody who has done some nasty stuff needs to be thrown away forever, quite frankly.
Oh, absolutely. You're 100% right. And nobody's talking about that. They're
No.
always talking about who on this side of the aisle is on the list, who on that side of the aisle is on the list, what CEO is on the list. What about the damn victims? Anybody care about them?
Absolutely. No. And it's this has been going on. How long has she been incarcerated for? Has it been at least like 10 years or something like that?
Let's see. She went in, I think it was 2018 or 2019 when
so
they got arrested.
Not nearly as much.
No,
it just seems like it's been forever.
It feels like it because Epstein was even whispered about before any arrest was made.
Yeah.
People heard about, even common Joes like yourself and I, we'd heard about the Epstein Island.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, anybody who has made who has done stuff they shouldn't have, and they clearly know who they are. I don't care what political party you're a part of or anything else. This is why I just want to make sure things are handled appropriately and fairly so that everybody can be brought in. And that's the thing about it too, is that people, like, when they post a picture of somebody and they're like, well, this person is clearly with Epstein, and then someone's like, well, so-and-so is with Epstein too from another political party. It doesn't matter. They all should go away. They all should be tried and convicted. And that's just really that's all I want to say on that. I wanted to get that out. I mean, today wasn't going to be a day talking about it, but it makes me angry that no one does talk about that part of it. You're politicizing this already political nightmare, this political circus of the Epstein case, and that needs to be brought back, and everyone needs to be reminded that this stuff doesn't fall into party lines. This sort of transgression is not a party line thing. There's a lot of people who need to be called out for all of this. That's all I got to say about that, Adam. I mean, that's it. I mean,
and I really hope we mop the floor with whomever is on that list.
All of them.
Every single one of them. And I want restitution paid to the families and their victims.
Great. Me being as philosophical and well-educated as I am, it reminds me of a great quote from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. When
the pod racing?
Yeah, it was like, wipe them out, all of them, that sort of thing, so yeah, it's very very cool, and I'm looking forward to hopefully not being disappointed by that, if that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
I'm fully prepared to be disappointed on literally every level of this, but hopefully that is not the case, because we really need to show that this country isn't a complete, I don't know.
It isn't a complete
bad experiment, just like, come on.
Oh, absolutely. Many people have said, Western civilization is a hell of an experiment. Hopefully it doesn't crash.
Right. Well, you and I being big Simpsons fans, it's always like, Kent Brockman always always talks about democracy as democracy simply doesn't work, just kind of like, well, come on, folks, prove Kent Brockman wrong. But
at this juncture, it's prove Matt Groening wrong with as much of the future he's predicted in those shows.
Absolutely. I'm super excited because I do see in my tiny little window of people waiting to get on to a show, we do see Butch Patrick, and we're going to be taking a break here. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Butch Patrick, Eddie Munster from the Munsters. We're going to be talking about his Summer Scream series, which I am really excited about, and I hope you will be too, because it's going to be right by you all. Everyone, the Matt McNeil Show will be right back.
When was the last time you had your roof inspected for extreme weather and hail damage? This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to talk about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If you've noticed new roofing projects in your neighborhood, your home was likely hit by hail last summer and experienced damage. Snap Construction is helping homeowners like you, and they're the roofing specialists I trust. They are the most well-reviewed contractor in the Twin Cities and have a ton of positive customer reviews from homeowners just like you. Even better, Snap Construction's installations are backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're dealing with a qualified roofing expert. You want to work with a company that will be here for a long time after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims and will help you through the process. Do yourself a favor and get a free roofing inspection so you have the facts and peace of mind you deserve. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP. Or visit snapconstruction.com.
Hey, this is Patrick for Zero Res. Did you know that August is Pet Appreciation Month? Zero Res is safe for all pets with no harsh soaps or chemicals in their cleaning products. If you have a pet like I do, you know they like to leave little bits of themselves around the house, whether that's fur or dander or worse, and you should call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to get things back in shape in your house. Carpet, tile, hardwood, rugs, upholstery, air ducts, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. If you haven't tried out Zero Res or it's been months since your last deep clean, then now is the time to call. Right now, you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $149. Take 15% off pet odor treatments and 50% off an air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResMinnesota.com or call 9520-RES and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Margaret Cho is coming to Minneapolis, and she's not holding back. Choligarchy is Margaret Cho's new comedy tour that's tackling power, privilege, and the madness of modern America. Frustrated with the State of the Union? Well, so is Cho. She's turning that rage into her most blistering, brutally honest show yet, taking on racism, homophobia, and sexism with her signature wit and fearless comedy. Don't miss Margaret Cho at the Fillmore in Minneapolis on Thursday, March 26th, 2026. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com.
This is Mitch, owner of Junk Masters. Feeling overwhelmed by clutter? Spring's the perfect time to reclaim your space and peace of mind. Renting a dumpster is costly, and it all ends up in the landfill. Just show us what goes. We give usable items a second life by donating them. No calling all over town trying to figure out who takes what. We do the legwork for you. Easy, cost-effective, and local. There's no obligation. Visit junkmastersmn.com today.
It's the Matt McNeil Show. Joining us in a minute here is Butch Patrick. We are very excited today. We are also broadcasting from Chicago Heartland, KKNW Seattle. And boy, we're going to have a great time here. I'm really excited about this. It doesn't need an introduction. Matter of fact, the music introduced Mr. Patrick more than I could ever introduce him. But Butch appeared in the 1960s television series. Honestly, one of my favorite series, the Munsters, playing Eddie Munster. He was in Lidsville. He's done so much over his career. And we're going to talk about the Summer Scream series that he is bringing close to some of our listeners' areas. And you got to check this out. I got to figure out my way to get there as well. I'd like to welcome Butch Patrick. How are you doing today, sir?
Hello, I'm doing great. And yes, the Summer Scream series. It has nothing to do with the volume of my voice.
Well, I mean, but you can scream about it because it's so exciting. I mean, we can do that.
It has to do with how much fun people have when they go to the drive-in movie and see Munster go home on the big screen the way we did it back in the good old days.
Well, and that's just it. When I talked to you initially and some other people, and you're like, well, we got the Summer Scream series going on. It's going to be Munsters Go Home. I'm watching the series on a regular bloop on Pluto, but they don't give us the film. And it's like I haven't seen that in decades, and I really would like to see it. And Butch, there's no better way to see this stuff than actually on a big screen and outside in a drive-in movie theater in some cases, right?
Yeah, you know something. The reason I decided to do this drive-in tours is twofold. Number one, tomorrow I'll be 72 years old, so I grew up in the era when drive-in movies were a real treat for families to go to the drive-in. The kids would get their jammies. The family owned the station wagon. They would go out. You could run around and play on the swings. And then when you got tired, you got in the car and the movie came on and you watched great stuff. And that's part of Americana nostalgia that just today is lacking, in my opinion. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to introduce kids who have never maybe been to a drive-in. And then the fact that we have a wonderful new print of Munster Go Home on Blu-ray out there for people to see, that we can get multi-generational grandpas, great grandmas, aunts and uncles, everybody who saw the movie, and then let the kids see it with them. It's really a family-friendly treat.
How fun is that? Now, tomorrow, like you said, first of all, happy birthday. Tomorrow's your birthday. You're celebrating the same week as our producer, Adam. Adam was a little bit earlier, but we've already given him enough celebration, so we're going to stop with that. But for you you're working tomorrow. You're doing part of this tomorrow, right? And you got a special guest.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm outside the Batman Museum in Logansport, Indiana, and we're going to go down to the Fiberglass Freaks factory that he actually builds Batmobiles for customers all over the country. And George Barris, the legendary car builder, built the original Batmobile. But before he did that, he built the Munster coach, and then he built the Dragula for an episode of Hot Rod Herman in the Munsters, where we lost the car and Grandpa built the dragster to win it back, which I have on display inside with my Eddie Chopper. So it's kind of funny that the show that knocked us off the air, Batman, and I are both sharing the same building, and my car is in the Batcave.
I'm just so excited that I have this opportunity to talk to Butch Patrick, who is Eddie Munster, in his car outside the Batman Museum. I mean, I don't know how much better it gets than that, quite frankly. That's pretty funny.
I was hoping to do it inside, but it's a functioning museum and it's so popular and people know what we're up to that we're getting a big surge of folks. So instead of trying to dodge fans and still carry on a conversation, I just stepped outside to my truck and my trailer's right behind me. And this is literally my rolling office as I travel across country anyway.
I was wondering when you said you had a trailer that you're just kind of seeing America and doing all this, aren't you?
I have found a really, really great niche. Number one, I enjoy hot rods. I enjoy, nostalgia. I enjoy Middle America. And I do have the Munster cars, and the fact that I can go cross country and kind of morph everything into this and segue everything together to not only tying in with drive-ins, which obviously is Americana and car related. It's really an interesting niche that I've created, and I couldn't be happier. And I'm working with owners of drive-ins all over the country. And the great thing about them is every one of them has, it's not like they're really getting rich off the drive-in. They're keeping it alive and they're keeping it open for the memories that it served them as a kid, and they want to share those with the community.
Now you are is it tomorrow you're going to be at two places?
Tomorrow I will be at the Batman Museum from I believe noon to 5, and then we're going to take a break for an hour, and I'll go down the street and actually have a screening of Munster Go Home in the theater down the street.
The thing about Munster Go Home and the Munsters in general, at least in my opinion, the 60s original version, it's timeless. I know you hear that all the time. It truly is. It is timeless, and it's such good family humor that isn't just only kid humor. There's so much to it.
Absolutely. No, it is one of the, people will ask me, what do I attribute the longevity of it to? And I always say, well, it's, the Munsters was part of a lot of shows in the 60s that have done very, very, very well. And the reason for that is people just have fond memories of their childhood back in the 60s. No matter how you try to duplicate it, no matter how you try to make it happen today, you cannot substitute where the country was and where the world was and where your youth was back in the 60s. No matter how hard you try to duplicate it, you had to have been there to understand it.
Absolutely. And, I remember growing up in the 80s watching these series, and I wondered, even as a small child, I wondered what it would have been like to be a kid like your age in the 60s, because it did feel, everything about it felt so good. And I'm not one of those people who's like, I miss the days of wholesomeness. I do to a certain degree, but I mean, there's something about that period of time that if I were able to time travel, that's where I'd like to go, just to experience what it was like back then, I want to also quickly just let people know, if you're thinking, like, once again, tomorrow, the 2 locations that Butch is going to be at, because I want to make sure that people are able to check this out if they want to, from noon to 5 over at Fiberglass Freaks Museum, and then at 6 over at the State Theater to do the screening of Munsters Go Home. Folks in Chicago, it's just over 2 hours to get out there. It's not long at all to go and check out and meet Butch Patrick and see all this wonderful stuff. But I also want to quickly make sure people know that unless anything's changed, you're also going to be at the Harvest Moon Drive-In in Gibson City, Illinois, right?
That's coming up. That's coming up on the 10th. August 16th.
16th. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I knew it was coming up at some point. And I want to make sure people knew that, simply because I wanted to make sure that if like, I can't go 2 hours tomorrow, okay, that's fine. Right. But there is you can plan for this as well. There's plenty of ways to come out and see it. And we have just less than 30 seconds before we take our break here. But I want to say, do people have access to you at these?
Do I what?
Do they have access to you at these events?
Oh, absolutely. Well, of course. Yeah. I mean, free selfies, always, interaction. I bring a lot of merch along because I do have a trailer and I have a truck, so I'm allowed to bring t-shirts and caps and coffee and a whole, brick and mortar store practically. And that's half the fun, is interacting with the people. So total access, you bet.
Okay, we got to take a break. When we come back, more Butch Patrick, everyone.
What some people have said, the monsters may shake your head, climb on the...
Hi, Matt McNeil here. You're listening to the best progressive radio in Minnesota. It's AM 950, KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is it. Art lovers, weekend wanderers, and food truck fans. Minneapolis' iconic art event is happening this weekend. The 34th annual Powderhorn Art Fair takes over the Powderhorn Park on Saturday and Sunday, August 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with more than 200 juried artists, delicious food trucks, floral vendors, upcycle creators, and a full family zone. There is something for everyone to enjoy. Wander the lakeside paths, meet the local and regional artists, find the perfect piece for your home, or just take in the vibrant energy of this truly unique celebration of creativity and community. Don't miss the chance to support arts and experience one of the most joyful weekends of the summer. All right here in the heart of South Minneapolis. Admission is free, again, Saturday and Sunday, August 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Powderhorn Park. For details, event schedules, food truck lists, artist previews, and more, visit powderhornartfair.com. That's powderhornartfair.com.
Hey, it's Tom. There's a war being waged on clean energy. A bill in Congress could eliminate the 30% federal tax credit for solar by the end of 2025. And once it's gone, it may never come back. Fossil fuel giants and their MAGA friends in Washington want to kill green energy. But you can fight back. Going solar with All Energy Solar isn't just smart, it's a form of resistance. You choose where your money goes, not to utility companies, not to fossil fuel billionaires, but toward clean, renewable power for your home. A system from All Energy Solar works in Minnesota year-round because it runs on sunlight, not heat. So even in the dead of winter, you're generating electricity. And All Energy Solar helps you save with every rebate and incentive available. This is the moment to act. Waiting means risking with this tax credit and giving the upper hand to MAGA Republicans. So get your free consultation today at allenergysolar.com and take back your power.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease. It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. An air quality alert remains in effect today as we expect hazy skies and a high of 79. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 58, and Saturday sunny with a high near 76. Discover perfection at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. From Philly steak to crispy chicken, every bite is exceptional. Add freshly fried fries or rings for a winning combo. Visit mavericksbeef.com or find them on Flexington and Roseville. Unforgettable sandwiches. Maverick's Real Roast Beef. AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
All right, we are keeping our interview with Butch Patrick going here for another segment. Very excited about that. Once again, I want to make sure people know that tomorrow, first of all, tomorrow is his birthday, so happy birthday, Butch, for that. And then there's a Summer Scream series that is going on tomorrow over in Logansport, Indiana, from noon to 5 tomorrow. Is going to be at the Fiberglass Freaks Batman Museum. That sounds like so much fun. That's from noon to 5. And then over at the Historic State Theater tomorrow at 6. And I just want to throw out there real fast, get more information. You can go to their website. Fiberglass Freak Museum is Fiberglass Freak Museum. Or let me do that again. Fiberglassfreaksmuseum.com, and then statetheaterlive.com. And theater is spelled R-E, not E-R. I have people in the comments, Butch, who are saying, who can't make it to your shows tomorrow. They're like, come to our area. You must get that a lot.
I do, and I travel extensively, and I try to get everywhere. But sometimes, it may I might not quite make it close enough. So we always try to do something and for everybody. And occasionally I'll get on and do some Zoom interviews or some cameos or this or that, or get out and do some Comic Cons as well. But wait around, and I'll get to you. I'll get to you as soon as possible.
Right? Or you don't have to wait for Butch to come to you. You go out to see Butch. You go out to Logansport tomorrow. I mean, why not? It's a great day for a drive, and go and you can also see Batmobiles and stuff, and the Dragula. I mean, that's pretty cool.
This is a crazy good museum. I highly recommend it. Even if you don't make it out to me, if you like pop culture and Batman, next time you're making a trip cross country or through Indiana, try to make a point of dropping by this town. It's a very nice town.
Now, Adam, you had a question, and I want to, because I think since we're talking about the Dragula, you might as well ask your question.
All right. I know you were just a child when you played Eddie. Did they ever at least let you drive the Dragula around like a parking lot or something?
I'm 11 years old in the Munsters. 11 and 12 years old. So the answer would be no, but I really, really enjoyed riding in the Munster coach. That was always my favorite thing on Monday morning when we would read our script to see what we were up to that week. Whenever the Munster coach was utilized, I was always very happy for two reasons. Number one, I got to ride in it up in the back seat. But number two, it meant we would be outside, which was always a treat because the Munster set, although it was very cool, it was one dark, dirty, dingy set.
Yeah, very much so. And I kind of when Adam said to me, when I said that you're going to get him on, he's like, this is the question I want to ask. Part of me is like, I wouldn't have been surprised if you said, yes, I was able to drive it just a little bit, because you never know what happens on close sets.
I sat it. I have pictures of me in it, and I have pictures of me with Mr. George Barris, and I have pictures of me with Grandpa. So I mean, I was around it. I was crawling all over it. I just didn't have the capabilities of driving it.
Absolutely. As when I was watching some Munsters, and one thing that just leaped out at me, and you get child actors who do the very best that they can in the role, but they're saying the lines and they're kind of getting it. Butch, I just gotta say, you got the humor. You could just see that you got it all when you're playing Eddie Munster, because I mean, it just one of my favorite things, and you've done it in a couple episodes way back in the 60s, was when you would mimic Herman's laugh, the ho ho ho, and then as a little kid, ho ho ho,
sure, Bob. Ho ho ho.
Now it's closer.
They had one of the great things that happened for me as being on the Munsters was, number one, I was surrounded by wonderful people. But what happened is they really liked the fact that Herman was 7 foot tall and I was extremely small for my age. And the play and the height, they wrote scripts that featured me volunteering Herman, and he would never want to disappoint me. And it sort of got to the point where I got a lot of dialogue and a lot of scripts developed to where I could handle myself with the others. And they wrote several scripts that featured Eddie and Herman, which was great because a lot of times back in the day, kid actors were kind of like, they weren't really main characters in the show. They were more like just supporting. But for me, I got very lucky to where they actually wrote a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, no, it is it's really a lot of fun, and I just have a soft spot for Fred Gwynn. Every time I would see him in anything, I just felt like I had to just sit and watch him. He just I adore him. I adore the entire cast, everyone, but I mean he was somebody I just like when seeing that he's in he was in Pet Sematary. That's probably the real reason why I went to go see Pet Sematary, because Fred Gwynn was in it.
You were around Fred Gwynn. You were in a master class. He was absolutely extraordinarily gifted.
Yeah, you could just see. You could just absolutely see. And I mean, I'm really happy to see how well and how much you embrace the Munsters, because I never know how people who are in such shows that is just a part of your life, doesn't define your life. Right. And that's what a lot of us, unfortunately, I'm one of them that kind of goes back to that. But yet, just you talking right now, I'm seeing in the comments, people are just so happy to see you. I mean, that's really cool. It's just amazing what you've provided for us all these years.
Well, as a kid, I would never want to be an actor. I was just a kid who could, memorize lines and not be intimidated by the process. I never wanted to be a career actor. So I got to be a regular kid and it worked out well. And then when I turned 21, I was lucky to grow up. 53 to 71 was my, 0 to 18 years. What a window of life, a little bit of the 50s, all of the 60s, and most of the 70s. So I was very blessed. They talk about the greatest generation, like in war. Well, I think I had the greatest generation as a kid. If you had to be a kid in a certain period, I don't think I could have asked for a better time to be born. Now, what's interesting is when people come up, and I didn't know this until I certainly didn't appreciate it, and I didn't really know it until later, how much the show meant to so many people, because we were just doing the show and going home, but the people across the country with no internet and no cable TV, they were hovering around a television set and a TV guide watching 3 channels at 6:30 or 7:30 at night. And we were part of their family. I mean, I had an extended family that went coast to coast that I wasn't aware of. And now when people come up and they share these wonderful stories and this warm memories of loved ones, have passed and this and that, how can you not feel blessed to be part of that kind of a memory and a positive experience in short doses, day after day after day? So literally, I thank God that I was allowed to do the show, but the show has endeared so many people and brought back so much happiness that I'm just a lucky guy.
No, and we're lucky to have you with us. If you're just joining us, we have Butch Patrick with us, who's done much over the course of his soon to be, what did you say? Tomorrow's your 72nd birthday?
Yes.
And we are talking about the Summer Scream series that you are doing. And tomorrow you're over in Logansport in it, blah, blah, blah. A lot of words sometimes, Butch. I don't know how you can be an actor, because words really do kind of screw me up, which is unfortunate since I'm a radio host. But Logansport, Indiana. I'm just so excited you're with us. Tomorrow, you're going to be starting off at the Fiberglass Freaks Batman Museum. And then you're going to be over at the Historic State Theater tomorrow, where there's going to be a screening of a new beautiful print to Munsters Go Home. I mean, how do you not want to go see Munsters Go Home with Butch Patrick in the theater watching it with you? I don't know. I would love to do something like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's a great print, and this is the original movie. There's been 6 of them since this. This will be the first, and then 5 after it. The Munsters has been redone several times. A lot of times people are a little, they're a little picky and they prefer the original, which is fine. I love that, the fact that I was on the original, but it's been done several times, including the most recent with Rob Zombie doing his take on it, of which I was lucky enough to participate and become friends with Rob.
Oh, nice.
So we actually have, I have some of the DVDs with me that we sell. And part of the DVD package is me and Rob sat in a theater screening room for 90 minutes while the movie was being shown in front of us, and we chatted live back and forth about his take on it and his input and my input. And that's one of the features in the new DVD for sale that people love. They just love the idea of Eddie and Rob sitting and chatting about Munster Go Home in real time.
Well, I think it's really cool too that that you took part in it, you endorse it. I mean that you're not being proprietary about your Munsters. That there's room for all these different versions. And I will admit I have not seen it myself, but I do hear from other people that they really liked the Rob Zombie version as well. They thought it was really good. So
well, you know what it was? It was a tribute. He wasn't just a guy trying to make a movie and make a buck. He was actually fought very hard to get the rights to the movie because he was a fan. And everybody, he knew he was going to take some heat for not having it be a scary, gory movie like his fans like. And he knew he was going to get some heat from the Munster purists that didn't like what he did with it. But he went along with it anyway, and it's very entertaining. And if you check your baggage at the door and you don't have any, preconceived, wants or this or that, and just watch it for an entertainment 90 minutes, you're going to love it because it tells the love story of how Herman and Lily met, and that's important.
That is important. And, the one thing that I think some people who have a kind of a dislike towards the new before they even see it is the fact that the old doesn't go away. That no one's taking all the Munster prints from the 60s and burning them, and you only have this. There's enough in the world for everyone to have their own version that they want to watch, and you can enjoy both. That's the funny thing about it. So a lot of people don't realize it. In the comments, I just want to quickly say, and we have about maybe 3.5 before we let Butch go here. But Nancy says, oh, it's the myth, the man, the legend. Happy birthday. So that's very kind. And then she goes on to say, we love you from the bottom of your little hooves to the top of your little pointed ears. I bet you hear that kind of stuff all the time, don't you?
She knows the dialogue. She knows. It's amazing. It's really amazing the fan base that the Munsters has. I tell people sometimes when they hire me or we talk about negotiating a thing, I'll say, look, just get me there. You're going to be amazed at how many people that you're not aware of that are going to come out and share a Munster moment with you. And here they line up 30 deep, 40 deep outside the door, holding their Munster goodies, getting autographs, just smiling, bringing kids along. It's it's amazing. And I couldn't be happier. And I hope to keep it going. Like I say, I never thought I'd live to be 30 when I was a kid. Here I am, 72 years old and in good health. And, like I say, I'm coming up on 15 years of sobriety. God had a special place to keep me alive. And I'm glad he did.
Now, I have a serious question for you. Do you still sleep with that little Wolfman doll, or is that just part of the TV show? I mean, I'm hoping you're going to tell me it's not just the TV show.
I have several woofs. It was given to me. The original was given to me when I was 18 out at Universal by the prop man, and we actually have sold woofs to fans who want to have their own little woof. But no, I don't sleep with him, but I do bring him along occasionally.
Thanks for not just hanging up as I asked that question. I really do appreciate it. Philip in the comments says, the Munsters was one of my favorite shows in the 60s when I was just a young kid. I mean, like you said, it just resonates, doesn't it? And if we had time, Philip has a whole story about you that because he works on planes, not works like a mechanic, but he is steward, excuse me. And he met you on a plane once, and you were very, very kind to him, and he was so excited that you're going to be on. So it just, and just goes to show how wonderful all that is. And I mean, we haven't talked about just real fast because, like I said, Logansport is tomorrow, and I want to make sure that people know that they can go to Logansport, Indiana, and see you. It could be a whole day thing or a half day thing, whatever you want, but it's going to be great. But do we have anything up yet for people to go to for Harvest Moon Drive? For Harvest Moon Drive-In in Illinois? If not, I'll make sure when it becomes available, I can share that out as well.
And people can just go to the Summer Scream series at gmail.com for the entire schedule.
Okay. And I do a paranormal show at night. I'll do one tonight, and I'll make sure that we push it tonight as well, and push it for a little bit. I'm actually really hoping to get out to the Harvest Moon Drive-In in Gibson City, Illinois, because I would really like to see it and take part. And it's a good excuse just to go for a drive and do something fun that's just not something that's happening every day. You know what I mean? It's
You
just
get
really
kids
nice.
you get kids out there under the stars. They can wander around safely. They put their phones down or their iPads down, and they actually can be kids. And then when the sun goes down, you got a beautiful sunset, hopefully, and a movie comes on the screen. There's no better way to entertain and have a family night out than go to the drive-in.
Butch Patrick, thank you so very much for taking the time. It really made my week. I thank you so very much.
My pleasure, and hope to see you at Harvest Moon. Take care.
Absolutely. Everyone, we'll be back, but just want to once again say that tomorrow at Logan's Point, Indiana, go see Butch Patrick. We'll talk more. This is the Matt McNeil Show.
Greg Bakun here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
Hi, this is Laura with Food Freedom Radio, and I invite you to discover 2 local grocery stores with a global fare. Market Fresh, south of Rosedale, carries fresh vegetables, quality meats, seafood, and a wide variety of grocery staples, all in a welcoming store. Shanghai Wholesale Market is in the St. Paul Midway area, and it's a food warehouse open to the public. Shanghai Wholesale carries more than 500 types of noodles. And frankly, it's time for Minnesotans to learn that pasta is a little bit more than spaghetti noodles and tuna casserole. There's sweet potato, bean, rice, fresh, frozen, rye. It's a paradise for those seeking gluten-free pasta. Also, both Market Fresh and Shanghai Wholesale Market seek to buy local, so you can look for local quail eggs, unique cheeses, and Minnesota-made tofu. Open the door to food abundance. Discover Market Fresh, your local Asian food store just south of Rosedale, and Shanghai Wholesale Market, your local international food warehouse north of Menards in the St. Paul Midway area.
You can't have too much pride, and Fargo-Moorhead Pride is proving it again this year, August 8th through 11th. It's one of the region's largest pride celebrations, drawing people from across Minnesota, the Dakotas, and even Canada. Just a little over 3 hours from the Twin Cities, you'll find 4 days packed with celebration, community, and fun at Fargo-Moorhead Pride. It all kicks off Thursday, August 8th with a family fun night, trivia, and a karaoke party. Then Friday features an all-ages drag show and a high-energy dance party. Saturday brings a 5K fun run, patio palooza, and the big Pride Block party. And on Sunday, everything wraps up with an interfaith service and the Pride Parade through downtown Fargo. Pride in the Park is one of the weekend's biggest events, offering food trucks, community vendors, and live entertainment everyone can enjoy. Make the road trip and show your pride at Fargo-Moorhead Pride, August 8th through the 11th. Full schedule and details at fmpride.com.
Did you know Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakun airs 5 nights a week at 10 p.m.? That's 5 nights of talking about ghosts, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. We're talking about the paranormal every Monday through Friday with some of the most trusted names in the field. Join us and step into the unknown with Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakun, Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. Only if you dare.
Playing games with me, Adam. I like it.
I just wanted to prove I'm not the only one who's like Pavlov's dogs when I hear that music.
Yeah, well, no kidding. I was ready to kind of get the show going here. Butch Patrick, huh?
Dude, that was awesome.
That was fun.
It's cool to, even though we didn't meet him in person, it was cool to be part of one of your childhood heroes. And one of the shows that honestly, Batman 66 is the one that kicked them off the air, but seeing them in syndication in the 80s, Addams Family, Munsters, Batman, to me, that's kind of where I feel like I set my moral compass.
Absolutely.
Was from those shows.
Absolutely. Now, I don't think I'm giving away anyone's trust by reading this. During the break, just as soon as the break hit, actually, I got a message from Moon Girl. And folks, Moon Girl is a regular on my show, Ghostbox Radio, at 10 o'clock at night. She does incredible predictions, a psychic medium, really very, very talented. And she said, hey, I just saw TikTok where you're going to interview Butch Patrick. I'm a huge fan of the Munsters. Is this going to be live? Can I watch this on Facebook? And she sent that as we're just going into break. So, yeah.
The replay will be available in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, we'll have it out there for people, and it was really fun. You could just see in the comments people who just resonated with him. You know what I mean? There's just like, oh my gosh, it's Butch Patrick. Loved the show, loved that. And it's that without even, like you said, without even meeting him, it's that feeling of nostalgia. I think that people really gravitate to, that they miss.
Yeah, and it's totally, as soon as he popped in, before we even went on the air with him, and we could just see him there in the corner before he popped on, I had the biggest Cheshire grin. It's like, oh my God, he's actually here. This is great. So yeah, it's just, there's just a connection and almost even an energy he was just giving off, even being hundreds of miles away in Logansport, Indiana. It just worked. He just got this aura about him, which is great.
It very much so. And the thing is too, it's like you just don't know how people are going to be when they're on the air with you. You hope that they're going to be great and whatever else. And he was just so enjoyable to talk to, and just wanted to listen to him for another couple hours. But he's a busy man. Stuff.
There's so much other stuff we could have asked him about, the Munster set and things like that. There was always if you remember the little monster under their stairs.
Yep.
When I was a kid, that scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, no, there is a lot there, and you could easily just also do a roll call of what was this person like? What was this person like? It just could have gone on forever. And there is a lot of great, like you said, during the 60s, there's this kind of golden era of television. You have a lot of those golden era of actors and actresses that were in the show. And like, I'd love to know what they were like. There's certain people that Richard Deacon, I would love to know what he was like and stuff like that, and there's also a good chance he didn't work with hardly any of them because maybe their scenes never crossed or anything. I don't know. But
yeah, and that's the funny thing about film and television, when you do get to meet someone who's been in film or TV and talk to them, be like, oh, how was so-and-so? And they're like, yeah, granted, we had 2 scenes together, but we actually didn't work with each other. And then you had, then, the magic of the movie is like, oh yeah, that's right. There are stand-ins, things like that.
Totally.
But they say don't meet your heroes. Butch was great, though.
It was great.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we actually had the opportunity to do that.
Right. And once again, he is doing the Summer Scream series, and he's going to be at Logansport, Indiana tomorrow. Is going to start the day from noon to 5 over. And like I said, how much fun talking to Eddie Munster, who's in a car in front of the Batman Museum. I mean, I just thought that was fantastic. Yeah, he's going to be over at the Fiberglass Freaks Batman Museum. That's tomorrow, noon to 5. And you can go to fiberglassfreaksmuseum.com for more information. And then afterwards, he's going over to the Historic State Theater in Logansport, Indiana, where he will be there for a screening of Munsters Go Home. And boy, that seems like fun. And you can go if a lot of people, as I was saying in the comments, a lot of people were like, how can we get them to our area? And there's a couple people there who are not anywhere near these places that are in the comments. And I would recommend emailing Summer Scream Series at gmail.com, because they're going to give you all the information that you need. But it would be also probably a great idea to be like, have you ever thought about coming out to this area? Or there's a theater here that maybe you'd all like to take a look at, and maybe that might work. I don't know. There's a lot of different things they can do. And I have a feeling if you got a truck with a trailer that you're living out of just because you're traveling all around the country, it sounds to me that they're open to almost any possibility, is the way it sounds to me. I don't know.
And if you do happen to make it out to any of these, just appreciate the drive-in theater. Because they are going away. I have so many great memories from the drive-in theater growing up. Let's also try to keep those alive with the Munsters memories and things like that.
You got to wonder if we can create a Ghost Box radio event and get him up here and do a drive-in, because there's still a couple left up here, or even like a theater, and do something. I mean, it'd be really fun. I should talk to Chad and see what he has to say about it. And one thing I also want to mention that we really did gloss over, which is super, super important, is the 15 years of sobriety that he has accomplished. And congratulations to him. That's huge, just huge. So, Courtney's like, we got to drive in here in the Wisconsin Dells. That's Big Sky Drive-In. Oh, Wisconsin Dells would be a fun place to go do that.
That would be a blast.
Yeah.
You should email him later on today.
Yeah. Also, just come on out to the Twin Cities, and then I don't have to drive as far. But, hey, it's not just about me. It's bringing it to a lot of people who, are going to really enjoy seeing him. It was amazing seeing how people are getting giddy, including myself, but giddy in the comments. It was really kind of fun to see. I like that a lot. So, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So once again, Logansport, Indiana tomorrow over at the, The Fiberglass Freaks Batman Museum, and then over at Historic State Theater. It's a lot of fun. Hour 2 is coming up next for the Matt McNeil Show. We're going to have on John from the Minneapolis Trolley Tours. We're going to talk about public broadcasting. Monday, Philip will be in for you folks in Chicago. Join us. We'll be back at the 4 o'clock hour.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. We have families waiting for a car. Over 85% of unemployed are successful in finding and keeping a job if they have dependable transportation. A car plus a job equals a life changed. 612-919-5526. We have families waiting for a car. 919-5526 or autotech.org.
Hey François, what are you packing for?
Salut Laura, j'irai en tournée avec le truck de Nicolette's Macaron.
You're going on tour with Nicolette's Macaron truck?
Oui, je suis un groupie.
Oh, you're definitely a groupie. What are your stops?
Le Loring Park Arts Festival le 26 juillet et puis le State Fair.
The Loring Park Art Festival on July 26th and then the Minnesota State Fair. Well, bon voyage, François.
Et bon appétit, Laura.
More information at nicolettesmacarons.com.
The Tom Hartman Show. Now, that's Smart Radio, AM 950, KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
AP News, I'm Mike Hempen. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting will begin winding down.
There were Bert, Ernie, and Big Bird.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
And Mr. Rogers and Daniel Tiger. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting has had deep ties to much of the nation's most familiar programming, from those shows to NPR's All Things Considered. Now, nearly 60 years after being signed into law, the CPB will start moving toward its own closure. That's expected to have a huge impact on America's cultural and journalistic landscape, since CPB helps fund both NPR and PBS with their public radio and TV stations in small communities nationwide. Sagar Magani, Washington.
President Trump has removed the head of the agency that produces the monthly jobs figures after a report showing hiring slowed in July and was much weaker in May and June than previously reported. Today's jobs report showed just 73,000 were added last month and that 258,000 fewer jobs were created in May and June than previously estimated. Trump says on social media that the figures were manipulated for political reasons and that Erica McIntarfer, the director of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, who was appointed by former President Biden, should be fired. AP correspondent Haya Pinjwani reports on the launch of a new crew to the International Space Station.
3, 2, 1, ignition's full power.
The crew rocketed from NASA's Kennedy Space Center. They replaced colleagues who launched to space in March as fill-ins for NASA's 2 stuck astronauts. I'm Haya Panjwani.
This is AP News. Another prominent figure in efforts.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Protect your home and auto by bundling them with Progressive, and you'll have a little less to worry about. But we know you'll find other things to worry about. Like that text you just got from your boss. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Oh, hey, call me when you get a sec. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, at least you protected your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have to worry about that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Crooners is a classic supper club with a wide range of entertainment. Make your reservations for a parade of international, national, and local artists in the main stage showroom, the intimate Dunsmore Jazz Room, or outdoors at the seasonal Belvedere Under the Stars space. Or enjoy Maggie's Piano Lounge. Enjoy 4-star food and drinks with first-class supper club service. What are you waiting for? Go to croonersmn.com for more information and schedule. That's croonersmn.com.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman Uptown is unique. We're one of the only union print shops in Minnesota providing our team with living wages and benefits. We believe in second chances for justice-impacted individuals who want to contribute to the community, and we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. An air quality alert remains in effect today as we expect hazy skies and a high of 79. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 58, and Saturday sunny with a high near 76. Discover perfection at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. From Philly steak to crispy chicken, every bite is exceptional. Add freshly fried fries or rings for a winning combo. Visit mavericksbeef.com or find them off Lexington and Roseville. Unforgettable sandwiches. Maverick's Real Roast Beef.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Hour 2 of the Matt McNeil Show. My name is Greg Bakun, filling in for Matt today. On Monday will be Philip Anthony that will be taking over, and then Matt will be back with us on Tuesday. So some really great stuff coming up ahead here. And, as we this hour, at some point, we're going to be talking with John over at the Minneapolis Trolley Tours. We'll be talking about gilded mansions and good stuff like that. And pretty much what does Minneapolis have to offer, because John will know, and we'll talk a little bit about his tours as well. It's a busy day for John, so if he doesn't get in and able to join us, we understand that as well. But I want to quickly say, in the last hour, we interviewed Butch Patrick, Eddie Munster from the 1960 series Munsters. What a great conversation. And real fast here, Adam took a call during the break from Matt from Minneapolis with a little bit of tidbit. He says, Butch Patrick had a 45, Whatever Happened to Eddie, and the B-side was Little Monsters. And so I'm going to have to look that up. Maybe if I can find it tonight on Ghostbox Radio, maybe we'll play a little bit of it before we get into talking about super volcanoes, which is one of the things we're going to do tonight. It's Casual Friday. We have with us right now John from the Minneapolis Trolley Tours, and we just really wanted to have a quick conversation as we're getting deep into summer here. And if you listen to Ghostbox Radio every night at 10 p.m., we talk a lot about the tours, and John and Norman, they do such a fantastic job. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Greg. Thanks a lot for having me on your show.
No, well, thank you very much. I know it's a very busy day for you, and I know your time is limited with us, but, we talk about on Ghostbox quite a bit the paranormal side of things. You're taking us to locations that had some kind of ghostly encounters that people have run into afterwards, even to the point that I've been on a number of these with you and a great group of people, and we pick up stuff and stuff happens that we can't quite explain either. But there is also, you do so much more than that. Would you be able to talk a little bit about some of you're still doing like the Gilded Mansion tours, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. We do a bunch of really great tours. I'm telling you that the ghost tours are some of our favorites. We've even had to expand the ghost tours because people want to do investigations deeper into them. They're a ton of fun, but we're going right now. I'm about to jump onto another tour, which is a narrated scenic tour. And it's all about like why Minneapolis is the way that it is. People from, I thought everybody was going to be from out of town today on the trolley. No, they're from like Maple Grove, Maple Plain. They're bringing friends and stuff there. It's an incredible tour all about all of these things in Minneapolis. You're like, why is this the way that it is? This is so quirky. This is weird. This is unusual. And we answer all of those questions. But we do the Gilded Age Mansion tour. We go to the 15 biggest mansions in Minneapolis. We get to go inside 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
On your phone, you get pictures of all of the mansions. So you get to cycle through those pictures. But Greg, my favorite tour of all the tours. I'm sorry, I'm super excited about it.
I'm so excited to tour.
I'm sorry. Listen, my favorite tour, I didn't want to forget this one, is the True Crimes Tour.
Yes.
You get to go around all of Minneapolis, see some of the most sensational crimes in Minneapolis, but it's interactive. You have a voting paddle. So you get to decide whether you think the person is guilty or innocent. And the last crime, 30 years later, we found out more information. So the trolley tries to solve the crime. It's only been solved 2 times. You get the extra information. You get to re-look at the crime, and people on the trolley get to discuss and try and figure out what really happened. It's incredible. It's a super fun trolley tour.
That is, and that is the one I have yet to do, and I need to do so like ASAP because
you've got to. It's so much fun.
And you know, folks, you can hear the excitement in John, and this is why I love John and Norman so much, because this is real excitement, and you are doing stuff that, you know, really not only shows how awesome Minneapolis is, but you know, the tours do what they say they do. I mean, like I said, we go on the paranormal, the ghost tour, and we take pictures, and we can't explain what we're seeing in the pictures, and just everything else that you're all doing, and it's all currently tied to 300 Clifton, which is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my entire life. I mean,
yeah, a little bed and breakfast. You're exactly right, Greg. We have a bed and breakfast, and during COVID, Minneapolis was not the place you wanted to have a bed and breakfast. It was tough running, and we went on a little getaway, and we saw a trolley tour, and we said, oh my gosh, Minneapolis needs a trolley. So we got a trolley, we brought it home, and Greg, for a year, we drove around in circles downtown, just waving at people, trying to do a hop on, hop off. It totally failed. Nobody wanted to go on our hop on, hop off trolley. But people would get on and just be for a second. They'd be like, hey, just tell us a story. What's this over here? And I said, what these people are looking for is a more curated tour. So we started doing these curated tours, and those are the ones you've listed off, and those and a bunch more. And we love talking about Minneapolis. We love putting smiles on people's faces. All of you people that are listening from your cars right now have seen our trolleys be popping around in downtown Minneapolis. Thanks for putting up with us. We've got lots of people on board that are just wanting to see the pretty side of Minneapolis and to see the wonderful people of Minneapolis. So thanks for putting up with us as we go around Minneapolis, because I know we drive slowly, pointing and taking pictures. And so thanks for letting us be a part of your guys' city.
Well, and the thing I love about what you do, I mean, there's so much I love about it, is that you and Norman don't do anything in half measures. I mean, everything is, first of all, I mean, I could not imagine living in a house as immaculately clean as the 300 Clifton. As a matter of fact, the joke was that when we did the Halloween special at the 300 Clifton, when we said that we're seeing orbs, we knew for the fact it wasn't dust, because you and Norman do not allow dust in the house. I mean, it's like totally illegal to have dust in the 300 Clifton.
Well, Greg, I'm telling you, we just did something else that is mind-blowing. There was an old mansion that came up for sale, and we wanted to save it. And so we decided that we're going to move our trolleys over to this other mansion. And this mansion is absolutely mind-blowing, Greg.
Yes.
It's the old Pillsbury Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
And inside this Pillsbury Mansion is unlike anything else in Minneapolis or in the Midwest, really, is what they did was they took pieces out of castles that were getting torn down or burned down in Europe and brought them back to Minneapolis and built this house around it. It's the largest house in Minneapolis, and the only reason why I can say that is because the Swedish Institute won't release its square footage. So the Swedish Institute might be a little bit bigger, but we don't know because they won't say. But this is 23,000 square feet of original wood that is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. And everybody in Minneapolis is going to have the access to it now because you're going to be able to go there and get on one of these trolley tours. Get a couple of friends together. Get some tickets to these fun tours. These aren't just for people who are from outside of Minneapolis. These are for you guys that are driving home right now. Do something fun this weekend or a weekend over the winter. Get some tickets to these really cool trolley tours that are going to show you Minneapolis like you've never seen it. In the day and night, stories that you've never heard, and you're going to be able to start at one of the monumental houses from a family that started Minneapolis, an old Pillsbury Mansion. That's where we're going to be starting.
Absolutely. MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com is where you want to go for that. And I'm going to just ask on the air so you can't say no. Can I do a paranormal investigation of this mansion at some point?
You better do one. Oh my gosh. As we're working on that, we're doing construction there. We're there at weird times of night. It is super haunted, Greg.
Yeah.
There is stuff it is an old house, and the wood there, the staircases, the fireplaces are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. One of the fireplaces was carved during the Black Plague, like a long time ago. This stuff is old, yes. Very much. It's brought some of its spirits along with it. So that's very haunted. I'd love for you to do an investigation there.
It's very rare for the exterior to be newer than the interior, you know?
Right? Yeah, the whole house is poured concrete, so they could never renovate it. No walls have been changed in the whole place.
Oh.
It's all original. It's bonkers.
So, folks, if you're interested, first of all, in not only the history of Minneapolis, not only how like the mansions that are around the Minneapolis area. I mean, I don't know how anyone could not listen to the fact that they're moving operations over to the Pillsbury Mansion, and this thing sounds off the charts. Plus 300 Clifton is off the charts, and they offer so many different tours. Oh my gosh, you don't take breaks, do you? Do you sleep at night? Do you?
Well, thanks for giving me a break to get on the radio with you today. I'm sitting down and I'm drinking a Gatorade. So
well,
this is a wonderful break, and I appreciate you letting me get on the air with you.
I was worried because I knew you have a tour that you need to start here in a second. I was worried that there's 30 people on this trolley, and you're at the front at the driver's seat doing this interview, and they all have to wait for you to be done.
I was gonna do that. I was going to teach them what Minnesota Nights was all about. You guys just be patient and wait for me to do what I need to do here.
It's amazing, folks. Once again, start by going just to MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com. See everything that they have to offer. I mean, we have done a lot of. They've been Norman and John have been so kind to AM 950 and Ghostbox Radio for allowing us basically into their lives and doing a lot of promotion, cross promotion with them and stuff. Truly wonderful partners. Please go check out what they're doing. I guarantee you don't have to be interested in ghosts or even true crime to be able to enjoy everything that John and Norman are doing over there.
Oh, for sure. I just want to meet you all. I'm so glad that you guys are listening to this radio show, and please just come by and say that you listened and say that you heard us on the radio, and we'd love to hook you up and get you on one of these trolley tours. I'd love to meet you in person. So thanks a lot so much for listening in, and I'm going to run and do this trolley tour. Greg, thanks for the opportunity. Can't wait to meet you all.
Sounds good. Thank you, John. Once again, Minneapolis Trolley Tours. Go to MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com, and really, you're going to love it. Let's go take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about a few different things, including the Corporation for Public Television. This is the Matt McNeil Show.
The place for live music is the Park Tavern. Park Tavern has delicious food and great bowling, and now the Park Tavern's dog-friendly patio is open and waiting for you. And make sure you catch the live music on the patio. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights from 5:30 to 8 p.m., live music awaits you with the Park Tavern's full menu available. Reservations for groups of 8 or more are recommended. And the Park Tavern offers private and semi-private spaces for small and large groups with no room fees and no minimum spending requirements. On Louisiana Avenue, north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park, live music and outdoor fun are back at the Park Tavern.
Margaret Cho is coming to Minneapolis, and she's not holding back. Choligarchy is Margaret Cho's new comedy tour that's tackling power, privilege, and the madness of modern America. Frustrated with the State of the Union? Well, so is Cho. She's turning that rage into her most blistering, brutally honest show yet, taking on racism, homophobia, and sexism with her signature wit and fearless comedy. Don't miss Margaret Cho at the Fillmore in Minneapolis on Thursday, March 26th, 2026. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, this is Patrick for Zero Rest. Did you know that August is Pet Appreciation Month? Zero Rest is safe for all pets with no harsh soaps or chemicals in their cleaning products. If you have a pet like I do, you know they like to leave little bits of themselves around the house, whether that's fur or dander or worse, and you should call My Cleaning Heroes at Zero Rest to get things back in shape in your house. Carpet, tile, hardwood, rugs, upholstery, air ducts, every surface in your home can be Zero Resified. If you haven't tried out Zero Res or it's been months since your last deep clean, then now is the time to call. Right now you can get your entire home Zero Resified from Minnesota's ultimate carpet cleaner and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $149. Take 15% off pet odor treatments and 50% off an air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment today at ZeroResMinnesota.com or call 9520-RES and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
Turn to Auto Technical with your vehicle donation. Even though Auto Technical is a small nonprofit, we have helped more families with transportation than any organization in Minnesota. Since '94, we have reconditioned donated vehicles so they have a higher tax benefit. Call Richard at 612-919-5526, 612-919-5526, or autotech.org.
Food, music, family. Discover the Slavic experience. Saturday, August 2nd and Sunday, August 3rd at The Rock in St. Louis Park. Polish music from Polka King, Ukrainian band Yev, gypsy music, a donut eating contest, fashion show. Whether you're a Slavic immigrant, have roots in one of the 14 Slavic nations, or simply want to experience Slavic culture, don't miss Slavic experience. August 2nd and 3rd at The Rock in St. Louis Park. For more information, SlavicExperience.com.
Oh, to be that excited about anything. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, no, I mean, I love John's enthusiasm for the trial. I mean, first of all, he has every right to be as excited as he was in that interview, because everything he says is true. And a little bit of disclosure here, folks. I've been in that Pillsbury mansion. Chad and I went down there when they're still working on it. I think they might still be working on it, but everything that John says about that place is, from what we could see, a zillion % true. Wow, that's it is such a beautiful building inside and out. Where John takes us on these tours are beautiful. The stories are great. They're not just hearsay. I've been on a lot of tours, especially a lot of ghost tours in different parts of the country, and you get a lot of, and they say that the ghost of such and such looks out the window. You know, it's not that. There's a lot of history, a lot of background, and a lot of this is what people have told us. This is what people have experienced on our tour. Here's pictures of what people have experienced on our tour. You know, it's stuff like that just is it's really, really fun. And then, Adam, we did that investigation over at the 300 Clifton, that event last year. It's coming up. It's going to be about a year. I think it was in September, end of September, that we did that. And we had permission to stop at one of the stops and do an investigation in there. And that's, to me, still it was only 20 minutes, but it was one of the greatest investigations I've had in a very long time.
I think for me, that one's special is because of the first one I did with my daughter. because my daughter went on that one with us.
Yeah.
And she always had like an interest in the paranormal, but yeah, after doing that, it's constant. I absolutely love it. And just be able to experience that with my child was an absolute blast. I can't thank you and John and Norman enough for even, granting that opportunity.
We got really great responses too, like intelligent responses through the Spirit Box, which is a device for those who are not into the paranormal that, the theory is that spirits use it. It's just like a regular radio, just kind of augmented a little bit, that spirits will speak to us. And when you're getting what we call an intelligent response, meaning that the question is relevant or the answer is relevant to your question, that's really something. And John was, he drives the trolley. He also does the narration of the stories. But in this situation, he came in with us and he's right by us. We're doing the investigation. He's asking questions and they're answering his questions. It was so amazing. And I'm not saying I don't think you do this every time. I think there's other tours though that he does allow more stuff like that. But you got to go to MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com and check it out. Now, here's something too. I mean, as we're talking about super important issues of the day, Adam, is I've heard the Zero Res commercial twice, voiced by none other than our very own Patrick. And he talks about something about pets, like his pets in it. And I don't know if this is just a copy of commercial he's reading, or did we learn a little something more about the mysterious Patrick that he has pets like a dog or something as well. I don't know.
I'm going to have to ask him on Monday when we're both in. It's like, are you talking about your dog on that one?
Right.
Because I would like to see what kind of animal Patrick would own.
He's kind of the AM 950 onion. You kind of peel away layers. You just get a little bit more about Patrick as time goes on. I mean, it's just he's an enigma wrapped in a t-shirt, and he is
he is, but I can't figure out if he'd be a dog guy or a cat guy.
That's a good question.
Yeah, because he portrays both very well. I mean, he is kind of Eeyore-ish, which I think would make him more of a cat guy.
You do know we're on the air, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
and I'm sure he's listening. Hi, Patrick. We love you.
I'm sure he is. Yeah.
But at the same time, he focuses on his work, which makes me think he's kind of a dog guy too. So I don't know. Maybe he's got like a gerbil or a hamster that he just lets run around.
I don't know. But yeah, you'll have to ask him Monday. You won't remember. I won't remember. By this point, I've forgotten I've even done the Matt McNeil show, because that's just kind of how I've been rolling lately. So
you'll roll into the studio to do it on Monday when Philip's in here going, today's my day. Oh yeah, it's Monday. Bye.
As I do every day, I walk in, I'm like, what am I doing here? Who are you? Who are you people? But yeah, no, it was I just thought, my gosh, does he have pets? Because everyone knows I talk about my pets nonstop, to the point that I'm sure people turn off the radio. But you don't really ever hear a whole lot about Patrick, and I didn't realize that I have to listen to the Zero Res commercials to find out more about the person who is working across the hall from me.
Well, I think we need to grab all the Zero Res spots from the last 5 years, listen to them, and then we can put together Patrick's biography.
It's a complete like profile of his life.
It
like
really is.
That was like the whole I don't know. It was like, oh well, I wonder if that's the case, or he could just be reading radio copy. I don't know.
Could be, but I could definitely see him being a pet owner.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think he has a lot of love to give. I don't know. I mean,
but we'll get this question answered on Monday, and he'll be running the board for Philip. So we'll try to make sure that Patrick answers the lingering question from Friday on Monday.
Yeah, he clearly has a lot to answer for. So we'll get to the bottom of this most pressing and important issue. As we are approaching the weekend, and you had to work on your birthday, and you also had to do Ghost Box on your birthday. Are you doing anything fun for your birthday this weekend, or is just like laying on the couch? And I do it often. Would that be like a good enough birthday?
I'm going to spoil myself
Yeah.
And I'm going to order a pizza either Saturday or Sunday when SummerSlam is on. So that's how I'm going to celebrate my birthday. In fact, I think I'll put a couple of candles in the pizza, light it, blow them out, make a wish for John Cena to keep the title, and go from there.
Yeah, I guess. My goodness. I mean, I forgot SummerSlam is already on. It's August. So yeah.
Yeah, it was always, to me, the signal that the school year was about to start when I was growing up, because SummerSlam would always be the weekend before school started in Indiana. So that was always kind of my, all right, next week we get back to it. So let's live vicariously through these guys in tights before I have to go back to school and deal with bullies.
Now, did they move up then SummerSlam over recent years, or did you really go back to school that early?
We'd go back to school that early. It was usually the 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere that in August. And we get out at the beginning of June. So we didn't do the after Labor Day like Minnesota does.
I mean, because like for me, and I was going to ask you, it's not the state fair, but you weren't living here,
right?
But for us, it's always like the state fair was kind of like, start winding down, because now obviously more and more schools are starting prior to Labor Day. So in the Twin Cities. So, but to me, it always was like Memorial Day was the end of the school year, and Labor Day, the day after, was always the beginning. That was just very, very perfect, very much a storied, chaptered sort of beginning and ending to summer.
And see, that's why the saying like the May to September romance works up here.
Yes.
But never, you could say that kind of thing in Indiana and the school age, you're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the summer break, May to September, which I think you guys did it perfectly with the Minnesota school district with that. Wish we would have had that in Indiana, because in reality, we only ended up with like 6 weeks of summer vacation.
Right. You could argue that that Grease, the film Grease, was in the play was based off of a Minnesota or Midwest summer, because it is very much love story sort of thing. So,
and of course Chanhassen Dinner Theater is putting on Grease. Go to their website for tickets. We may still have a few to give away at some point, not today, but we will keep you posted. But
no, I think I'm going to go in September to go see that. I think it's going to be great. It's just one of the greatest shows ever.
Guilty pleasure, I still like that movie.
I do too.
And
I do too.
I don't get me wrong, not a fan of Xanadu, but I do definitely dig on the original Grease.
Yeah. Well, and I love the theme song sung by Frankie Valli.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just one of the greatest of all time.
And of course, my favorite out of there, Beauty School Dropout.
Because that's what you were.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For those of you, if you watch tonight, I'll be on camera. You can see why I dropped out of beauty school.
And got a full refund.
Exactly.
What?
And a restraining order. Never come with.
That's true. He was actually never registered to be there. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go take a break. When we come back, I do really want to talk about the Corporation for Public Television. That to me it's just a big blow today, and amongst everything else. So just do that. The Matt McNeil Show. Stick around.
Hi, I'm Peter Solak.
And I'm Adam Ostrowski.
We are here at Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces to talk about outdoor fires. Sitting around a fire is the oldest, most basic form of human activity.
What's new is in the way fire is burned. We can show you how to burn cleaner with a lot less smoke.
The radiant heat and light from an open fire is unmatched. It kindles our spirits and connects us to the outdoors. And now it's easier to experience and enjoy.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces sells and installs wood and gas burning fire pits and fireplaces. Let us help you experience an outdoor fire without all the smoke.
Come see the many ways you can enjoy a fire outdoors.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces has over 35 working wood and gas units on display at the corner of East Franklin and Riverside Avenue in Minneapolis. More information at woodlandstoves.com. Find the fire that works for you. Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
Get ready. Rainbow Kitten Surprise live. Thanks for Coming tour. August 3rd, the Ledge Amphitheater. Rainbow Kitten Surprise with special guest, Medium Bill. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Rainbow Kitten Surprise live.
Your time is precious. Why are you still mowing your own lawn? I'm Alex Knorr, a young, hardworking entrepreneur serving the Southwest Metro with affordable lawn care. At Buzzcut Mowing, I offer weekly mowing, leaf cleanups, aeration, dethatching, tree trimming, and mulch installation. I work hard so you can relax and enjoy time with family and friends. Call today and I'll handle the rest. Visit buzzcutmowingmn.com. That's buzzcutmowingmn.com.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease. It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Overwhelmed trying to make sense of Medicare? As a licensed advisor, I can help you determine your healthcare needs and evaluate your options. I'm Harvey Pearl of Pearl & Company, and I want you to have the peace of mind knowing you have the best coverage available. You deserve an advocate you can trust and coverage you can rely on. And there's no fee, ever. Annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Call me now at 651-303-8889 so we can strategize together.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for partly cloudy skies tonight with a low around 58, Saturday haze with a high near 78, and Sunday partly sunny with a high around 77. Savor the excellence at Maverick's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. Elevate your taste buds with their range of sandwiches from the savory Philly steak to tempting turkey bacon avocado. Explore crispy chicken, fish, brisket, and pulled pork options. Check out mavericksbeef.com or visit them off Lexington and Roseville.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
And what are the things, we've had last hour and a half has been so much fun. There's been some really good joking and like we said, in hour one, we had Butch Patrick from the Munsters he played Eddie Munster. All that stuff is going to be archived. You can go back and listen to it. You could watch it also on our YouTube channel as well, AM 950, as well as Facebook and all that good stuff. And then we had John from Minneapolis Trolley Tours. Really, he was so excited because there's a lot of good stuff to talk about. And if you really want to kind of be able to have a new insight into Minneapolis, you got to check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com. One of the things, though, that I wanted to kind of talk about today, and it's quite, honestly, this put me in a really bad mood. And I mean, a lot of things have been putting me in bad moods, to be perfectly honest. We talked about it early on, where we're just trying to avoid news and stuff. And I knew that the administration's going after public broadcasting and succeeded by taking away $1.1 billion in funding, in federal funding. And it didn't actually really hit me until today. It was announced that the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, a term that I heard my entire life from being young, watching the Sesame Streets, Mr. Rogers, Electric Company, all these amazing programs that help, for better or worse, shape my youth and shape me. It's going away. The Corporation for Public Broadcasting is going away. It'll be pretty much gone in September. That is a month. There's still going to be a team in place to help stations transition. I thought it'd be worthwhile to kind of talk about what this means and what they were, because it's a term, right? Corporation for Public Broadcasting. We hear it at pretty much the start of every program that we've ever seen on PBS that was created in the U.S., but maybe we don't know what that means. And so just a couple things I wanted to go through here so that, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting was funded by the federal government through annual appropriations from Congress. Now that's been cut, $1.1 billion. The role that it served was as a steward of federal funding for public broadcasting, distributing the funds primarily to local PBS and NPR member stations. And the mission is to ensure universal access to high-quality, non-commercial content. especially educational, cultural, and news programming that serves the public interest. Why this is important, especially on a level for children, and I have worked in broadcasting my entire career. Adam will know what I'm talking about here too. There's one simple thing when you are a commercial station doing children's programming, there is something called the kids rule. And the kids rule is simply this. If you are showing a program about Spider-Man, if it's an episode of like Spider-Man or something like that, and during the commercial break, there is like a commercial for a comic book store or a brand of toys, and they feature Spider-Man in it. The whole thing about that is that kids do not understand what a commercial break is. And I don't mean like, 10, 11-year-olds. And I think that that's probably still the case to a certain extent, but mainly the really young kids, to be able to differentiate between what is programming versus what is commercial. There is a rule in place that is meant to protect children for that they are not being shown stuff that they may not completely understand what is part of the program and what's actually someone trying to sell you something. With the PBS stuff, that was never a problem. It was all about the programming. And there's so many programs that PBS had made that are not children's, but I am kind of focusing a little bit on the children programming there because there's this whole, it works so well to be able to have these different types of programming that were specifically geared towards different age groups of children that they could kind of grow up. And once they're kind of at a certain age of watching one program, they go ahead and watch the next program. And it's just commercial free. And it's a way to help build skills and help learning. It's incredible. There is no other programming like PBS. I think so, at least. So you might be wondering, okay, what does the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, what kind of funding do they provide for? So they provide for PBS, Public Broadcasting. They provide for NPR, National Public Radio, and they provide for American Public Media, PRX, and local public stations. And why this matters is that the Corporation for Public Broadcasting plays a critical role in ensuring that educational, informational content reaches rural, underserved, and diverse communities. And that is, something that this is going to take away. The ones that are going to be hit the most is going to be the rural, words are hard, rural public television stations. Why? Because they're the ones that aren't going to have the other big companies putting in money for programs. You watch something on TPT and it might have like 4 or 5 big names that are supporting, because we're in the Twin Cities. We're in a top 14 market. And so you're going to do that. Meanwhile, you go down to Austin, Minnesota, which has an amazing public television station. And no longer do you have those big, I'm sure something like Hormel probably is putting money in, but I think it becomes less and less. And that's why when you go to other public television stations, say that you watch TPT and you go travel and you go to a smaller city and you're like, oh, this just isn't maybe quite as dynamic as TPT. Well, there's a reason for that. And the more rural that it is, the more funding it's going to need. And that's something that is going to be gone from now on. And the fact that this is the case is just breaks my heart. And I don't understand. I don't understand why it had to go away. I don't understand why it became a vendetta, and why everything that we are, why we're holding dear, because we are more liberal, we're we're Democrats, whatever, that alone is a reason to start stripping away stuff that helps everybody. But maybe because we're more vocal about it, Therefore, it must be taken away and destroyed. Now, the 1.1 billion defunding of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is part of a broader 9+ billion rescission package that's been going on for a while, intended to claw back previously allocated funds. The majority of this, $8 billion of this, is aimed at foreign aid programs. So in other countries, economic development, global health initiatives, disaster relief, refugee assistance, peacemaking operations. And, the thing about that is, listen, and this is probably not something you often hear on a progressive station. Sometimes there is parts of I'd really like to make sure that we're able to, if there's a big situation in the Twin Cities or something, that we're able to get the help that we need. I understand that. But, there's going to be a time that we're going to need something. The U.S. is going to need something, and no one's going to want to help us because we not only have removed in this rescission package that money, but we've done it in such a way that we hold so much contempt for literally everybody else in the world while doing so, and hold so much contempt to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting for rescinding that money. It's not even just like, hey, you know what, we're reorganizing. We gotta figure out and put our ducks in a row. This is more like, because they don't deserve it. They don't, what have they done for us? And it's all this crappy, inhuman sort of behavior. And this is, to me, it hit me harder than I ever thought it would have. And I'm really frustrated by this. And I'm more frustrated by this as well, because, first of all, and something else that's kind of been in the news, Hurricane Wesley, in the aftermath, it's devastated parts of Florida and the Gulf Coast. This was just a little bit ago. It's caused widespread flooding. It's caused a lot of power outages, and people are upset about FEMA and the delays with FEMA. And the thing is, and that, and that was a thing that, if I recall correctly, was the biggest thing that the Trump administration complained about when it came to FEMA, was that, Joe Biden's White House was not, was ignoring certain parts of the country, mainly the red country where the MAGA people were when disaster struck. No, that's not the case. This is where the problem is now, because funding before this Corporation for Public Broadcasting defunding, before the rescission package, they had cut pretty much FEMA to its knees. And this is something that it's like, now what? Now what do you want to do? Because people, and once again, as we said earlier, it's not about who lives in what territory. It's about people needing help, because we're human beings, and that's what we do, is we help each other, because we don't know what's happening on this planet. Weather-wise, anything, people need help. And we're making that impossible. It's no one class system that is being forgotten here. Everyone is losing in this situation. And why I'm tying this to the funding of the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is that people are like, well, great, because now we can take that money and we can put it over here. We can put it back towards FEMA or whatever. It didn't need to be that way. And you could still have both function. And the cuts aren't to make America better. It's certainly not to make America great again. What the cuts are for is simply because one person and the people whispering in his ears, they have an agenda, and this is how the agenda is being filled. And it's a very little thought to how is it going to affect people, the people that voted for him, the people who didn't vote for him, society. None of that is of any interest to him whatsoever. And what we end up here is with truly some scary stuff. Is it scary that the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is defunded? No, it's not scary. it's wrong. I think it's very wrong, and I think it's very sad, and I think it's very spiteful. And why does politics have to be this way? And people will undoubtedly point me to how the Democrats have done this, sort of spiteful stuff. I mean, I'm sure, but what I've seen in the last 4 years, oh no, it hasn't been 4 years. It's been literally 6 months. Sorry, my mistake. God, it felt like it's like he's on like term 17. There hasn't been one thing that I've seen rescinded that it's about like, oh, let's make, here's why. This is why. I'm trying to find where this money is supposed to go that's being cut, not only the 1.1 billion, but the whole 9.1 billion from the Rescission Act. And I don't see anywhere where it says that, okay, this was where this new money is going to be earmarked. And that's the bit that's really frightening to me, is like, that just shows that, I'm not doing this to help the country. I'm doing this because it's payback time for whatever reason it is today, whatever it is that someone did to him, or somebody, whispered in his ear, like, Corporation for Public Broadcasting hurt me, and I think back to that footage of Fred Rogers at the congressional hearing. What is that, 1971 or something like that? It was early 70s, I believe, pleading the case for public television in a nonpartisan way, in a way that it was only and he spoke about it from a children's level, from children's television level. And I don't remember who it was that was like, absolutely, they agreed to it right on the spot because of his passion plea to everything, and in a way that was like, you can actually see how this will benefit the country. And to have it just removed because it's on somebody's agenda to have it removed is very sad. It's very petty, because I cannot find one reason in my research that says, well, this is why we needed to do it. I hear people say stuff like, well, the public television stations, they make a lot more money than you think. I don't know about that, especially the ones that now the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, if you're in a small town and has a public broadcast station, there's a very good chance that that's going to go away. I'm just being very honest here. For those of you who voted for this, I hope that someday some of you will just be able to look at it in a mega sort of way and be like, either A, this makes sense, or B, yeah, this is unfortunate. I mean, I wish that people everywhere would start thinking for themselves. Why don't we go ahead, take our final break. When we come back, we'll wrap up, get you into the weekend. Hopefully you got the grill started. Matt McNeil Show.
This is it. Art lovers, weekend wanderers, and food truck fans. Minneapolis' iconic art event is happening this weekend. The 34th annual Powderhorn Art Fair takes over the Powderhorn Park on Saturday and Sunday, August 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. with more than 200 juried artists, delicious food trucks, floral vendors, upcycle creators, and a full family zone. There is something for everyone to enjoy. Wander the lakeside paths, meet the local and regional artists, find the perfect piece for your home, or just take in the vibrant energy of this truly unique celebration of creativity and community. Don't miss the chance to support arts and experience one of the most joyful weekends of the summer. All right here in the heart of South Minneapolis. Admission is free, again, Saturday and Sunday, August 2nd and 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at Powderhorn Park. For details, event schedules, food truck lists, artist previews, and more, visit powderhornartfair.com. That's powderhornartfair.com.
End-of-life decisions are not easy to make. Hi, I'm Mary T. of Mary T. Hospice Care. It's important to make sure that this difficult time is meaningful and comforting to you and your loved ones. Our hospice team provides an individualized program of physical, emotional, spiritual, and practical care so your loved one is comfortable and not in pain. At Mary T. Hospice, we understand that choosing the right hospice care provider can be overwhelming, but we're here to assist you. Learn more today at marytinc.com.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman Uptown is unique. We're one of the only union print shops in Minnesota providing our team with living wages and benefits. We believe in second chances for justice-impacted individuals who want to contribute to the community, and we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
Did you know Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakun airs 5 nights a week at 10 p.m.? That's 5 nights of talking about ghosts, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. We're talking about the paranormal every Monday through Friday with some of the most trusted names in the field. Join us and step into the unknown with Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakun, Monday through Friday at 10 p.m. Only if you dare.
I don't even know what to come back to. It's just the same music over and over again. You're confusing me.
Well, I'm not the one who created the intro and the bumper music to be the same thing, so that's actually all on you. And you were warned there were going to be 2 promos for you in the show.
Well, when you talk, I barely listen. So,
Well,
I
we
mean,
know
there is that. I think I did a pretty good job channeling my my inner Matt McNeil during that last segment. But you found a stat that is very interesting regarding the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, why it is important.
Oh, yeah. 8.8% of Americans, which is 10 million Americans in rural communities, do not have access to internet or cable television because no utility companies have put those kind of things out there. So you are cutting children's programming and really programming for everyone by at least 1 channel, because if they can still get antenna, you're back to 3 channels, 4 maybe. So you don't have any of that now.
Well,
and that's a good chunk of people. I mean, people are, 8 point. That's 10 million people.
It's about 3 times the size of the Twin Cities, isn't it? Are we about 3 million, or is it? I don't even know what we're at.
Yeah,
anymore.
It's about 3 times the size of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the burbs combined.
Yeah, and but I mean, the good news though, Adam, is that I'm sure all this was well researched before they decided to cut all that funding, because that's how this administration works. So that it has a lot of research and a lot of and not only just research, but some of the best people to do the research.
Only the best people work for me. We have all the foresight.
Yep.
No, they have zero foresight. And like you were saying, where is this 9.1 all over altogether? Where is this to be reallocated to?
Yeah.
Did they list that anywhere?
I didn't see it. I haven't seen it. If someone has seen it, please send it our way, because I'd like to know. I would like to know. I almost said something that I know I'm not going to be. I was going to say I'll be open-minded about it. I won't, because I just don't see how you could possibly defund public television, or public broadcasting, I should say.
No, are these is this $1 billion going to be put into the pockets of Viacom?
Exactly. I mean, what favor is now going to be fulfilled because of this?
Yeah. And what other late night show is going to get kicked off the air?
Yeah.
And for me, I'm 45, well past the cartoons and educational programming on PBS. However, I watch the crap out of Austin City Limits.
Yeah.
And that's going to go away too. You're not going to have that. You're not going to have Downton Abbey, or Downton Abbey, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm American. I know it's Downton. Sorry. But, you know,
Downtown Abbey.
The Antiques Roadshow is going to go away. I don't know what my father-in-law is going to do now. But you're losing so much more than Sesame Street, who I knew they wanted to kill forever because at one point they knew the Count was going to get them, and it did back in 2020.
Yeah,
the Count
yeah.
messed them up. I get it. But if I remember correctly, they've been attacking public broadcasting since George H.W. Bush back in the early 90s, if I'm remembering correctly.
In fact, that was one of Trump's tweets, was that it's so many times over the course of the past 30 years that Republicans tried to kill public broadcasting, but failed. I didn't fail. I won. That's BS.
He is just a flat out failure. Absolutely a failure. I cannot stand that dude. And I didn't like him back in the day either.
No,
before he was even a politician.
No, absolutely not. Join me tonight. We are going to be Ghostbox Radio on at 10 p.m. We're doing politics here, but we don't do politics at night. It's unless it's paranormal politics, and that's like talking about Lincoln and stuff. But join us tonight. It's Casual Friday, and that means that we can talk about anything, but we're going to talk about some super volcanoes as well. Please make sure you tune in for that. Also, I want to remind people that Philip Anthony will be filling in for Matt on Monday. They don't trust me with 2 days in a row. I don't blame them. And Philip, as always, is going to have some wonderful content. So you definitely want to tune in for that as well. There's going to be probably plenty that happens over the weekend that is going to fuel him as well to talk, and that'll be in the 3 to 5 hour. And then right after us here, stick around, Native Roots Radio. You don't want to miss that as well. So just a lot of good stuff. And I do want to do a quick shout out. I don't know how often we talk about this stuff, but make sure that you listen to the weekend shows on AM 950 as well. There's a lot of great content on there. I'm not going to pull anyone out over the other because they're all very good. If you haven't done so, check our schedule on am950radio.com and make sure that you give it a chance. Everyone, thank you so much for listening to us this week. We really appreciate it. Native Roots Radio is coming up next.
Margaret Cho is coming to Minneapolis, and she's not holding